Hello, my loves. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Joey. Today we are doing the Lovers and the Major Arcana series. So, for me, first of all, the Lovers is the card that represents sexual union, love, relationships. But furthermore, it also represents duality, balance. It also represents masculine and feminine union, not only in relationships, but in the self. It represents uniting those different energies within ourselves. And furthermore, just for me, it represents the choice to bear it all, to really come as you are and to be authentically you. You know, like a goose doesn't waste time trying to be anything other than a goose. And so I think, and that's not about genders, that is about honoring your own authentic energy, honoring what is in your heart and who you know you are. Okay, when you know what you are and you know who you are, that is your authenticity, that is your truth. It's not what you've been labeled as. It's about being honest with yourself and who you are, so that you can really love yourself, love your life, and honor the divine creation that you are. Wow, thank you, Spirit. Okay, it also does represent, you know, about how far you've come on your journey, the obstacles you've overcome, and the love that it takes to do that. But it also represents finding people that are not just, this is not just about sexual or love relationships. This is about, in a romantic aspect, this is also about friends. This is about business partners. This is about companionship in the highest regard. Excuse me, confirmation burp. But yeah, it's very much to me about finding someone who has commonality or can really resonate with your frequency. To me, this could literally be like the perfect business partner. This could be like your best friend, coworker. This could be like a mentor or a teacher, someone that you just have deep love for. This does not always have to be in a sexual nature. I just want to emphasize that heavily. And I view this as the different ways that you come together and how your different gifts and unique abilities complement each other. But furthermore, it's about how uniting the different sides of yourself and the different aspects of self that come together to kind of meet in the middle. Yeah, there's just so much beautiful energy that I feel with the Lovers. It's like this energy of harmony. It is this energy of just flow, synchronicity, or synergy. Synergy is the word that wants to come through. Synergy. And yeah, the Lovers could show up with anytime you're really harmonizing with another or with different aspects to come together to kind of form something beautiful, especially after the Hierophant, you know, because after the Hierophant is, oh wow, because the Hierophant's all about order and structure. And I think where the Lovers comes after that, because it's about, you know, applying that structure and that discipline with your own unique energy, with you know, applying your unique take on tradition and on logic and on this higher order. Wow. I'm going to be honest, that threw me for a loop because I started recording this Lovers before the Hierophant, but that's just the way the Spirit wanted it to come out, I guess. And I didn't realize until I'd said that I was like, oh, wait, we skipped a step. Okay. So if the Lovers were going to show up to me in like a work reading, it could represent, you know, someone, obviously, like I said, the relationship within this work, but it could also represent your opportunity to really be yourself authentically and to really not hold anything back in the realm of your work. It could be really to show up as your most authentic and true self, to really be the catalyst for change, or to really bring in your most effective fruits, if you will. And not only that, but it's like sometimes when we are our most authentic versions of yourself, you are rewarded unexpectedly, just for being you. And sometimes you think that you're going to be punished for it, but sometimes we are rewarded. And that energy wants to come through, because I just keep seeing like the way that the sun is shining from the divine. And it's like we are meant to shine that unique light. We are meant to be honest with ourselves. We are meant to love ourselves enough to have the courage to really be human and to share our unique gifts. And so that energy comes through a lot with the Lovers for me. Obviously, if it comes through in the reverse aspect, it could be a disharmony or a lack of inner union within yourself. It could quite literally point out maybe a lack incoherence in a relationship with another, maybe a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or even a sibling. It could point out a spat between any relationship that you really have. That's again where intuition comes in with it, because so often when we see, hear, or feel different things like this, we will have an intuitive hit. We will be pinged. Well, our guides or our body or something will let us know, like, oh, I know exactly what that's about. And so it's really about feeling into that disharmony, feeling into the choices that are either being made or not being made, and really looking in. If the Lovers came up, it would be a very big call for me to be in observer mode and to kind of look at how I'm moving. Am I moving from a place of love? Am I moving from a place of fear? What is the root cause of the disharmony and the lack of union that I'm feeling? And how can I really hold myself accountable? And how can I really shed love on the situation and bring myself back to the heart? Sometimes if the Lover's in union, you have to ask yourself, is this really working out for me? Most of the time with the major arcana, this is going to be either a karmic lesson or something that is going to be a major theme in your life. So I just want to reiterate, just because the Lovers comes up with a relationship reading does not mean this is like your fated soulmate, like you have to be together forever. This could just be someone that is really, that you share love with for a short period of time, that is a strong karmic mirror of your own self, or of your own lack of love for self. It could be a very strong if the Lovers comes out in reverse, it could potentially, especially with the Five of Wands or a different card like that, it could be a strong indication of like a karmic relationship, or something that is meant to kind of teach you more about your worth, or it could be really that you're losing yourself in a partnership. They're showing me this process of like immersion, like you're losing yourself too much in this connection, and it'd be a time to come back to your energy and to kind of remind yourself to not get too lost in this connection. What else? Let me take a little peek here. Yeah, for a personality type, the Lovers would be someone who's very authentic, very genuine, and they are very clear about what they stand for and what they believe in. It to kind of follow up on what I said earlier. This is someone who really doesn't have reservations about how they feel, because they are very there is this level of innocence with this card, like with their nakedness. Like they just are who they are, and that's what it is. And it's like what I was saying about a goose doesn't waste time trying to be anything other than a goose, because it's just happy to be who they are. And so I think that when we allow ourselves to authentically radiate who we are, it allows us to kind of bring this love to everyone that we meet. It allows us to expand this love. And so that is why it is the card for love. And that's why it's not just about sexual relationships. It's about our relationship with ourself and the universe. It is about our love. It is just about the heart. Oh my gosh, I love this card. So I feel like let's see if there's anything on the shadow aspect that I might have not touched on. Yeah, okay, so this could also, you know, like if the Lovers showed up reversed with maybe like the Three of Cups or something, it could point out to like a third party situation. But also, if this card is upright, you know, it could also be a chance for you to just delve deeper into connection with yourself. I already said that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, this could also, if the Lovers is reversed, it could just point out to a general lack of harmony in your relationships, you know, and so maybe it would be a good time to go within and to kind of ask where you are finding dissonance in yourself, to where it's manifesting in these external relationships. Because the external is always just a projection of what's going on internally. And so when you are able to view these external dissonances, and kind of go within and be like, okay, well, how can I change a shift, or how can I adapt and overcome to this? And so I feel like if the Lovers were reversed, it could also ask, you know, like, how can I show myself more self-love? How can I show myself more self-respect? How can I honor my energy further? How can I more authentically show up as myself around others? How can I more authentically express and create in a way that honors my energy and those around me? How can I more truly reflect who I am in my environment? How can I more honestly show up? Yeah. And also, you know, it can really, if you were asking about a relationship, for example, like maybe at the start of the relationship, your values and everything align. And that's what I'm saying with, it's not, just because this comes out does not mean that everything is concrete or forever. Maybe your values and things lined up for a time and you were very pivotal for each other's growth and you helped each other, you know, but now it's reaching like this gap in communication, or one person is not wanting to grow. Maybe some person is capping, and that's fine. I feel like it is rather selfish, I feel like, to expect someone to constantly be matching your growth. And it's also a disservice to yourself, I feel like, to expect yourself to constantly wait or love is such a fine balance, and I think that it is a very I don't know. I might catch some flack for this, but it's like I don't believe that relationships are really always meant to be, you know, just one and one person forever. And I think that that can put unrealistic standards on each person and their growth. Some people really resonate and they come into divine union, and that is possible for them. But I genuinely believe that so many people put codependency and just comfort above true love. And I think that they forgo large parts of themselves, or they kind of just put off a large part of their own healing journey through martyrism and various aspects. But I think that's a topic that not everyone's ready to have. But yeah. So furthermore, I think that the Lovers, to me, is a card about alignment. Coming into alignment with the self. Yeah, that's one thing that I think they don't listen, or they don't list, is it's just largely about alignment. Okay. Well, that is it for the Lovers today. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day. Mwah.